10 things you will learn today from Grigor Dimitrov's serve. So I'm sure there's one thing you might have not heard that you can implement into your serve that will help you to get a better serve. So this is gonna be a fun one. Stay with me and let's get to it. Number one, I call this the 45-degree position for the front toes, and the back leg is about almost parallel to the baseline. And this is a great starting position, especially for the platform serve. What a lot of recreational players do is they have their toes of the front foot pointing forward. So their body is already facing forward, which will definitely not help you serve since you can't use the coil uncoil mechanism, which makes the serve so powerful. Number two, I want you to pay attention where Grigor Dimitrov separates the tossing and the hitting arm, which is about right here. So way below waist. And in order to make that comprehensive for the recreational players, if you separate the arms right there, you have a longer way of acceleration right here for your toss. And that will help you to have a more stable and consistent toss because it makes it easier to get that and transport that arm up and get the placement at the right spot. Number three, pay attention to Grigor's tossing arm. The tossing arm goes up first. And again, to make the connection to the recreational player, if the tossing arm goes up first, you most likely will have a more stable and reliable toss because you can focus on the toss only. If both arms go up, most of the players are struggling to have a consistent toss. So try that out and really only focus on that tossing motion. Number four, in order to get a really good consistent toss and serve, look where Grigor spreads his fingers. We always say it's around eye level right here. So what happens is if you spread the fingers too early on the toss, the ball will go forward. If you spread them too late, the ball will go backward. So behind you. So in order to have a great toss that goes straight up or a little bit obviously in front of you, you need to make sure that you spread the fingers around that eye level. Number five, watch how Grigor loads into his back leg. Very important. This is a little more advanced tip. Probably 60% of the weight right now is onto the back leg, and then he shifts it right here. As you can see, that shift into the front leg. And why this is important is because at recreational level, the distribution is about 50-50 and they both push simultaneously into the ground, which more resembles a vertical squat, and you can't get enough power on the push off like if you would do it like Grigor, shifting from the back to the front leg, so you can create more lift up and have a more powerful serve. Number six, let's get and dive into the trophy pose right here. Very important. If you compare yourself to the top players, that we call this shoulder over shoulder right here, that you have this nice position that Grigor has, and one of the most important things is that the racket head is up. A lot of recreational players drop the racket head too early and therefore mistime their serve, and they're big time struggling on the serve because of that. So the racket head has to stay up for sure in this trophy pose moment. Number seven, if you do everything right and you go upwards to contact the ball, your shoulder will lead. So very important, make sure when you're in a trophy pose that you explode up really well so the shoulder is leading, and you can see right here in this moment that the racket tip points down. And if you compare yourself to one of the pro servers and you look like this, you have done it right in this position right here. Number eight, now let's get to the contact point. For the slice and the flat serve, you certainly want to make sure you contact the ball in front of you. So this is the a little bit further into the shot, but the contact was in front of you, as you can see right here. And if you draw like a straight line downwards, it's about like half a foot inside the court. And that's very important because you want to make sure that everything from the ground up finishes up into that racket head in front of you. And all the bad things happen if you contact too late, like shoulder and arm problems, and you don't want that. So make sure you contact in front of you. Number 9, what happens now on the serve is if you've done it right, we will see the pronation right here. Check if you compare yourself to a pro player, the strings point to the side in that moment, and that will make sure that you have that right shoulder pronation. And if you look like this in that phase, you've done everything right. And finally, number 10, when you land, we call this the scorpion position right here. Resembles the scorpion a little bit in this position. You land on your front leg. You try to stay balanced with the upper body, which Grigor does great right here. And right after you land like this, you go into the ready position to the split for the next shot that's coming to you. So